you that haven't been before, and welcome back to all of you that have been. And it's nice to see you all on this lovely Monday afternoon. And in particular, thank you, Petra, for that reminder. Today is International Women's Day. Woo, woo! Which is very exciting. And what came up on one of my posts, in your Facebook memories, was this video I'd made a few years ago. So I was sharing that this morning, and it was loads of different bras hanging on a tree, floating in the breeze. And I was doing a post about no matter what you are as a woman, and you may choose not to even wear a bra, but we're all important, and etc. I can't remember what I said, but I loved it. I was very excited to get a chance to use that video again. So that's a good reminder, guys. Remember about evergreen posts where you can share your stuff over and over and over. You don't need to come up with new stuff all the time, because you probably have some fantastic gold posts from a year ago, 6 months ago, even 2 years ago. Bring them out and use them again. Why not? Oh, yay, Marianne said it made my day. The bras flapping in the breeze. That's very nice. Well, as I said, welcome to you all. I'm about to share my screen and get stuck in. But before I do that, I'd like to invite you all to jump into the chat and in under 15 words, see if you can write what it is that you do and how you help people, or what you offer to people. And then also make sure you put in your Facebook and your Instagram and a Facebook group if you have one, a website if you have one, and get stuck into that. That would be awesome, because at the end of the chat, at the end of the session today, you can click on the 3 dots down beside where you enter in the chat and save that. And then you can go and connect with everybody. Facebook friend request them, follow them on Facebook, follow them on Instagram, check out their website, etc. So get that all happening where you're connecting with each other, because it's a wonderful way to grow organically. And you just never know what amazing collaborations and things you might get going with people. So yeah, beautiful. Look at Tony. I teach you how to grow your own veggies. S in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 words. I love it, Tony. Tanya's a psychotherapist and helps people to navigate their world by connecting to themselves. Beautiful. This is good. Kate's even put in a hashtag, Feel Fab with Kate. Fun, motivating tips to make you feel fab inside and out. Nice, Kate. Very nice. Says she, about to slug on her cucumber again. So that I too can feel fab. Look at Andrea's. Woo! I'm a hair and makeup artist here for all of your fabulous do's and lippy. No, and you got a most beautiful cup, Andrea. That's lovely. Emily produces reusable shopping bags designed specifically to replace plastic bags, eco silk bags. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Emily, but I feel like you were one of the first to ever do it. Is that correct? Oh, even though you're not on mute, I can't hear you. I still can't. But guys, I'm going to tell you about those silk bags, because I saw them years and years and years and years ago, and there's some really fun colors, and they are exactly like, remember those? Remember those? We don't even have them in supermarkets anymore, but that style of plastic bag, and they're exactly like that, but silk and super, super sturdy. They were certainly my first ones that I ever had, and they're very, very good. Tanya says, I can't stay, client booked in. No worries. Tanya, actually, it goes on to YouTube. So it'll be there probably by tomorrow. So if we just share our YouTube channel in the chat, then you can jump onto that and watch it all. And it's even more fun then, because it has a lovely little intro and then a lovely little outro, which is cool. Honey made that for us, and it's awesome. Yes, there you go. Tanya remembers the bags. Alison's a naturopath and will help you shift your health from average to amazing. Yeah. Organic beauty therapist specializing in Aussie-made products. Beautiful, Marianne. Brenda's curtains. Made-to-measure curtains and more. Loads more. And thank you, honey, for putting in that YouTube channel. Awesome, guys. Well, welcome. It's lovely to have you here. I'm going to share my screen now, and we're going to get stuck straight in to today's topic of the day, which is, let's just check that I'm sharing the correct screen. Can you guys all see 5-step hello visibility method? Is that a yeah? I'm going to click on present then. I'm going to try. Here we go, present. So yay. So this is all about how to get visible online and get to know and get that know, like, and trust factor. And hasn't that just been the buzzword of the last year? There's been many buzzwords, for example, like you're on mute. That's one of the buzzwords of the year. And all kinds of things around, everybody's now on Zoom all the time and learning different ways of working. So the know, like, and trust factor is one that we've been working with for years and years, but now it's become particularly well known. So I love talking to people about how they can get visible online and work with them around this. So let's get stuck into it. So social media shouldn't be about how much you can impress people. Instead, how can you impact people? I know that these days, particularly with we're in the era of Instagram influencers, etc., and they're out there trying to impress us all, but it's not about that. It's how can we impact them? How can we help them? How can we do more? And how can we get more value in what we do? So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Kylie and I build brands. My business is Hello Media, and we're a digital marketing agency that specialize in content and branding and just helping businesses basically get visible online. And we do that through one-on-one and group coaching programs and masterclasses, etc. And my belief is it's not should we be working on our digital marketing, but rather how well are we working on our digital marketing? So I'm a speaker, coach, mentor, writer, designer, educator, presenter, content creator, and branding specialist. It comes up under the banner of business coach specializing in digital marketing. And I also run a meetup group called Positive Passionate Businesswomen, which you're all welcome to join our Facebook group. That will be in the chat in a moment. And then we have an online monthly meetup, and there's lots of support and all kinds of things that goes on with that, which is very fun. And then on Friday mornings, we also, there's another free webinar called Bite-Sized Conversations, and that one's just 30 minutes. And it's with a friend of mine, Jenny Walk, who has Elephant in the Room Consulting. So we run that one together, and we're discussing all kinds of things about business and digital marketing. So moving right along, we want to look at why is the know, like, and trust factor important for your business? Well, building an audience isn't only about how good your content is, because even if you're the best writer in the world, you won't be able to grow an audience that supports your business until you show them how you can help solve their problems. You need to master the know, like, and trust factor. So when I work with people on their pricing and how to work out how to price yourself or how to price your products and all that kind of thing, whenever we're talking around the money topic, we always look at a few things. And one of those in particular is how well known are you? Because you might have 3 masters, a PhD, have 50,000 years experience, amazing results, but if nobody knows about you, then how can you be charging what you want to? Because they don't know you exist, so therefore they can't come and book your time, or you'll buy your product, etc., etc. So without being known for what you do, it's very hard to charge what you want to charge. So that's why we all need to get on top of the know, like, and trust factor. So if people like you, they'll listen to you. But if they trust you, then they will do business with you. So let's have a look at what it all is all about. So the know is when you think of things like, who are you? What do you do? And should I care? So what kind of posts can you be putting out there to get people to know what you do? So for example, when I'm doing posts, obviously I'm giving out tips and things like that that are really important for me to show my expertise in the area. But what about how I help people, what it is that I can do to help people? So who am I? Like, would you even want to actually work with me? So sharing a bit of my vibe, which of course expands to my whole branding vibe, but a bit about who I am, what I do, why I do what I do, etc., really helps you get to know me. So from time to time on social media, I share snippets of in behind the scenes. At the moment, they're mostly around a puppy that is now living in our house, which is kind of fun. But I also like to share a bit of other things too. So have a little think about what can you be sharing that's going to make people resonate with you or like what you're talking about, etc. So for me, for example, my husband, I've just realized that I may not have pressed record. Hang on a second. Oh, I did. Thank goodness. I have had a tendency to forget to do that. I'm not sure that I'm sharing the right screen. Hang on a moment. Oh, I'm just going to do stop share again. And I think you guys can see it and I can't. Would that be right?
We can't see anything now, but we could a moment ago.
Funny. Let me go, because there's a window coming up when I want to share it, which is the one, but it won't then click on it. So something odd is going on. Let me just press stop share and go into it and see. Yeah, weird. Okay, I found it. It's good. And then it just asked me to rate them. Well, not always working perfectly, but here we go. Let's go share screen again and present. So for example, as I was saying about things that I would share about myself are things like from time to time, I talk about disability issues. My husband's a quadriplegic after an accident 13 years ago. And so I'm really like to raise awareness around access issues and that kind of stuff. So what have you got going on in your life that you might like to share, something to help people get to know you a little bit more? It could be that you're very, very passionate about, the environment. It could be all kinds of different things that you're passionate about. So share that. It could be that you're a new mum. Or it could be that you're a new dog mum, or in my case, dog grandmother. There's all kinds of things that you might want to share, which helps people get to know you a little bit more. Then what about the like factor? Do I like you? Can I relate to you? For me, it's probably more about the can I relate to you than do I like you. But have a little think about what sort of things can you write about that help people to relate to you. So I certainly know in my scenario, when I put out disability posts with, comment on things, and particularly like world days, like days of the year to do with disability things, they get really, really good engagement on them because of naturally the people that also know about my world, it's quite an isolated world with, around disability access and stuff like that. So it's an amazing way to share with people. So have a think about what it is that you can write about where people will relate to you. What about the trust bit? That's where you're sharing, are you an expert? Can you help me? Have others had success? So the way that I show that I know what I'm doing is by putting out tips of things, sharing information about particularly around the latest things that are happening in digital marketing. But then I also need to be sharing where others have had success. So I'll be sharing things like testimonials and reviews that people have written. But people also then want to know, how can I help them? Like, is it relevant that I could help them? So I need to be sharing about the different types of programs that we offer. But later on, I'll talk about how often to be doing those kind of sharings. So have a think about what kind of posts can you be doing where people are getting to know you? What kind of posts can you be doing where people can start to think that they relate to you? And what kind of posts where you can show that people will trust you because of things like you're an expert in this or that, etc. So next is, and also remember to put any questions in your, yes, Andrew, I can see out my window and it's dark grey. It's going to be an intense storm. So let's have a little look at the no factor, because this one's where it all begins. It's all about visibility. And before you can sell your product or your service to anyone, they need to know that you exist. You have to be on their radar, so get visible. When we look at the customer journey funnel, so right at the very top where the funnel is at its widest, that's where we want to do all our visibility stuff. So that's where we're posting into Facebook groups, sharing a lead magnet, we're posting on our own pages, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on LinkedIn, we're on Pinterest, I was going to say Pinstagram, Pinterest, Google My Business, we might be on Clubhouse. All the things that you will be doing all are at the top of your funnel, because that's where it's all about how visible you are. Because as I said earlier, if you're not visible, people don't even know you exist. So that's a really important bit. Then we move into the next down part of the funnel, which is when they're going to, book a discovery call with you, or they're just moving down that customer journey funnel. But of course, unless we have it going on at the top, we can't move anyone down that funnel, can we? Next is the like factor. Now that they know that you exist because they've seen you in that top of funnel section, then the next question is, do they like you? But the goal is not to get everyone to like you. Nobody's ever going to get everyone to like them. Don't try to market to everyone in the whole world. You need to know your audience, know who you're speaking to every time you sit down to write your post. And then if you can, just write it to one person. So I work with my clients on building up their customer avatars. And some people call them a buyer persona. Some people call them, well, there's all kinds of names. I like to call them a customer avatar or a client avatar. And the things that you're thinking about when you're writing out and defining your client avatars are what's their age, what's their gender, what's their social status, their job, their behavior patterns, their motivations, their goals and demands. I always get people to name their avatars as well and to write them out like a whole little bio of a person. And then each time if they're writing a social post, they can be thinking of that exact person, that buyer persona or that customer avatar, etc., as they're writing those posts, so that they're not trying to just write to everyone, they're just niching it right down and writing it to one person. So how do you get your audience to like you? Just by being yourself. And if they're not the right people for your tribe, then that's okay, because you don't want to have, like, the world needs more than just one of us, doesn't it? There needs to be more so people have choice. So let's have a little look at the trust factor. People buy from people that they trust, but also people buy from people, or people work with people, and people book services with people. It's not just a face of a business. It's wanting to know who is behind the business. So to get someone to trust you, it needs more than just knowing and liking you. Creating a business where people buy from you again and again because they understand that what you're delivering is honest and true, you're transparent with your information or where you get it from, etc. So make sure, like, for example, that whole supply chain, if you're doing products. So if you happen to be all about eco, then we need to know what that product process is all about. Is it that you're picking the stuff from your farm and creating amazing things? I heard recently with these clients that I was working with, is 2 different clients that make their own jewelry. And they said it's a real problem at the moment where people bring in mass-produced stuff from China, and then they just make a few changes to it, and then they on-sell it as beautiful handmade jewelry, which of course it isn't. So the more transparent that you can be about your process, the better. So let's have a little look at the know, like, and trust funnel. Remember, we're thinking about who are you? Why do I care? Are you an expert? And how can you help me? So let's have a little look back up here. The know section is coming right up the very top. Remember, we talked about the top of funnel, where those where you're getting really, really visible. That's where they're getting to know you. Then they're deciding if they like you as we come on down, and we're looking at that question, why do I even care? Then we're moving down to the trust section, because it's not till they trust you that they will buy from you or spend their money with you or book your service, etc. Particularly when you think about those kind of businesses or industries where you're either learning or where you're getting something that is going to change your life because you're not having a good time with life in general, and you need to work with someone that's going to make a huge difference. So you definitely in those scenarios want to know about, you want to get a referral, you want to read testimonials, you want to read reviews. Let me know in the chat how many people read reviews, because I, for one, am a big review reader, testimonial reader. I'm always having a little look before I decide to spend money in an area of what it is that I'm actually, yes, Tony says always for Petra, yes, all the time. So the more also that you can be asking for reviews from people, the better. There's a really, really great app that for all of you with Shopify that we use, which is called Judge Me, and it's fantastic. So it sends out an email, and there's a lot of review apps around anyway, but it sends out an email to the person after they've bought, and you fill it in, and then you can choose if it's going to go on your homepage and also on the product page as well, which is fantastic. And I know with the clients that we've put that on, it's made a really big difference in you know, people getting to see what's going on there. So also, in a crowded marketplace with lots of other opinions, you need to stand out to your customers by creating a better buyer experience. So have a little look at this. So a strong social media presence will help you reach your target audience. You can create content that resonates with your audience. It inspires, educates, or entertains. You can be generous and interact with your customers and show the human side of your business. And it's not about you, it's about your customer. How does your product or your service solve a problem? And as soon as you remove the idea of selling to people and you change that to, it's how I'm going to help you, it's going to make all the difference to how you approach moving forward in your business. So I have a little 5-step method that I'm going to share to get that know, like, and trust factor. And we'll go into it in more depth, but basically here they are in 5. Number 1, get personal on Facebook. Number 2, more helping, less self-promotion. Number 3, get visible. Number 4, offer value and give. And number 5, start a Facebook group. So let's look at the first one first, which is get personal on Facebook. Be a Facebook friend. Your clients, your colleagues, and people that you meet want to get to know you better. So everybody that's sitting in here today, go and befriend each other. It's a lovely way to do it. It's a safe space. And that way you can be growing, because you never know who might know who that might be able to, connect with you in some way, on some level. So share posts about your business on your personal account, because this way friends can support you. So I don't do it very often, but I certainly make sure that I'm sharing when I've got a webinar going on, when we are going live, for example, on a Friday morning in our webinar. Then we will share that let me start again. We do it on Zoom. We Facebook Live it to the Hello Media Facebook page and the Hello Media Facebook group. Then we watch party it over to my personal. And it is amazing when you look at the views and all the insights in the back end, how many people watch it on my personal page, yet would never actually log in and come to the actual webinar. So it's quite interesting to see what people are looking at and what they're doing in terms of your personal page. And as you probably all know, you're going to get a whole lot more interaction and engagement, and Facebook will show your post to more people on your personal than they will on your business. So don't just spam people all the time with business, but certainly definitely make sure that you're sharing. And on that note, make sure that you go and have a little look at your Facebook account and see, have you completely optimized it? So what that means is, if I was friends with you and I went to have a little look at your account or your profile, would I be able to see how to connect to your Instagram, how to connect to you on LinkedIn? Would I have a little bit in the bio about what it is that you do, etc.? So that's really important, because a lot of people have it quite locked down and we can't even see what you do. So then they might do a post about your business or their business, but then there's no way to find out what their actual business is. And you always know there's an interesting something's going to happen when you say, oh, tell me about your business, or you're trying to respond to it in a comment and they go, I'll send you a PM. And then I'm like, here we go. It's going to be another one of those scenarios. So be careful, make sure that you're transparent and you don't make it awkward for people. So the Facebook algorithm works so much better on your personal profile than your business page. So definitely use it. Also, I only do posts on my personal profile. I almost always do my posts on my personal profile as public, unless they're really personal, and then I won't do them as public. Because for me, if I'm posting about something and then people want to share it, then I think that's a great opportunity. So keep that in mind too. So step 2 is more helping, less self-promotion. So join Facebook groups where you can be helping others. Share your knowledge and expertise in the comments. So what that means is that if you're in one of those giant groups like like-minded bitches drinking wine, for example. Now, I don't necessarily ever post in those groups. They're massive, they're crazy, but notice what's happening in the people's posts and what people are posting, and see if you can comment and you can share something of value, because people notice that, then they go and do a little stalky stalk on your Facebook account and see who you are and what you offer, and then maybe go and find you on Facebook or find you on Instagram. So definitely sharing your knowledge and expertise is a really, really great thing to do. The next one is consistently add value to others' posts. So that again is commenting on people's stuff, but it's also sharing it. So if you find something that's amazing that one of your friend does and they've done a great post, share it onto your page or share it onto your business page. It's a wonderful way to be constantly adding value to others. Invite your friends. That's a really good thing to do. So if you're in a group that you think is amazing, invite your friends in there. If you've got a Facebook group that you think people would really get value from, invite your friends into that as well. The next one is recommend and refer people. So that's kind of along the line of the testimonials and the reviews and stuff. But even today, for example, in our group coaching session this morning, I think it was 4 of the people in the group said that they wanted my contact for something. And so I sent off an e-intro, introduced them all together, and then they possibly can work together. So referring people is a really wonderful thing. I love it when I get on a discovery call with someone and they go, oh, such and such and such and such gave me your details, so I'm really excited to meet you. And I'm like, yes, that's awesome. So think about, how can you be referring people? Who could you be referring? And particularly, I'm just thinking of Andrea here, when you're in a smaller area, how easy it is to do that, and how quickly people you get known for being the person that can connect people up. So I was just thinking, Andrea, like, for example, you're there doing somebody's hair, telling them about Woods. You know, oh, goodness me, they have the best coffee in town. Boom. Always make sure that you say, hey, tell them that Andrea sent you, because then, of course, they rock up to Woods and they go, I'm here to get a coffee because Andrea told me it's the best. And boom, there you go. And you know what? You're not gaining anything from it other than people know you're a good person and a good human, and you're a sharer. So then what do you know? They go, somebody's in Woods going, oh, I just wish I could find a great hair salon in Bangalore. Oh, boom, just go and see Andrea. So guys, it goes both ways. So make sure that you recommend and refer people as much as what you can. Judge Me at Marianne is an app for, it's a Shopify, but it might be available on other platforms, but it's a really fantastic one for getting reviews from people. But also you can just send them the link to your Google My Business reviews or to your Facebook reviews, send the link and email after them and say, I'd really love it if you would give me a review, for example. Okay, introduce yourself into a group and share how your business helps. So, I've got a real thing about the way people go, hashtag promo, me. What I prefer to do is hashtag offer and tell people how you can help them. There's just a very slight tweak between the two words. Promo, meaning all about me, or offer, meaning all about you. And what I can share to you, it can literally almost be the same post, particularly if it is a lead magnet that you're offering. So if you do a little story, pitch story, or whatever kind of story you want to do in your caption, talk about what it is that you can offer, and then say, and hey, do you want my free downloadable? Say yes in the comments, for example. And then, of course, we go down the process of collecting the email address and all that kind of thing, which is so important, obviously, to be constantly growing the email database, because the buck does not just end with social media. So making sure that you think about next time you go to post a promo somewhere, that you think about, could you rephrase that to be an offer? Or does it need to stay as a promo? Totally up to you. But for me personally, I tend to tune out when I see a promo, but I definitely read when I see offer. The next one is post consistently on your personal profile. This is the get visible bit. On your business page, on all your platforms, and in groups. So when it says on all your platforms, that means like on your business page on LinkedIn, or maybe you've got Twitter, you definitely need to be posting on Google My Business, obviously on Facebook, and groups. So those are the groups that you're in. So have you written a list? Like we have a scenario with Airtable where we just have a whole big fat list of all the different groups that we're in. We include what's going on in those groups. So you know what type of group they are, what days they let you post, what hashtags you have to use, for example, like the hashtag promo or whatever. So make sure that you're really utilizing the groups that you're in. And if you're in groups that you're not getting any value from and you're not giving anything, then you may as well leave and find other groups to be part of. So we have 2 different groups, or we have a lot more than that, but they're all different stages of the funnel groups. So our main ones at the top of funnel are the Hello Media Facebook group and the Positive Passionate Businesswoman Facebook group. And both of those groups, you're welcome to post anytime you want. To try offer though, rather than promo, but you can post as often as you want and share about what you do and let people know about what you do. So the next one is to engage, entertain, and educate your audience. I like to call that one edutaining, but if you can think about what it is that you're going to offer them. So can you make them laugh? Can you make them think? Can you make them learn something? It doesn't really just need to be telling them about what you have. You want to be asking them for all kinds of different things. So for example, let's use this little scenario of that I sell dresses and here's my red spot and here's my blue spot. So rather than just do a post with a red spot dress and go, this is my red spot dress, I also have it in blue. Oh, Are you going to respond to that? No. Are you going to engage with that? No. Are you going to share it anywhere? No, not unless you really love that dress. But what if I put up the two pictures? Here's the red one, here's the blue one, both spots, and I go, which one do you prefer, red or blue? And then you can say links in the comments, because at the moment, if you're putting a link into your caption, you're going to get penalized for that, because Facebook doesn't want you leaving the platform. They want you staying on the platform. So definitely think about how can you engage with your audience, entertain your audience, and educate your audience. And you don't have to do all three all at the same time, but definitely mix it up. The next thing is to reply to every comment. You need to be social on social media. Don't ignore people. It's so weird, I find, when people put a post up and people are responding and then they never get a response back. It's kind of like if you walk into a shop and you say, and they say to you, hi, how are you going? And you're like, great, thanks. And they go, what can I help you with? And you go, I'm looking for a yellow cardie. And then they turn around and walk away. And then that was it. It's the weirdest scenario. So just because it's on social media doesn't mean that you can't think of it as this is a conversation that's going on here. We're connecting, we're communicating. So when someone responds to you, you definitely need to respond back. Sometimes it might only need to be a thumbs up emoji. It can be whatever it is that you like, but definitely be social. The next one is share your best tips. Don't hold back your expertise. So Tony, as the veggie lady, Tony can say, well, I help people grow their own vegetables, but we don't even know how Tony does that. But if we're following Tony, all of a sudden we could say, hey, this is the best season to be planting your potato. I'm making this up, by the way, Tony. Your potatoes, so guys, don't listen to me, follow Tony. Your potatoes, your sweet potatoes, your da-da-da-da, and they take this amount of time to grow, so get going with that now. Or it could be that she would say, hey, there's a real benefit to feeding your plants with fish stuff. What's that smelly fish liquid? There you go. I'm just, again, making that one up. But, what about doing that once a week or once a month, or fish emulsion? Thank you. Oh, and guys, you've just got a great tip from Tony now. Be planting your brassicas right now, not your taties, like I said. But imagine, Tony, if you could be sharing those kind of tips once a week. So Top Tip Tuesday, for example. And we're learning from you, which is very exciting, because then when the time comes that we're ready to book you and find how we can work together, then, you're already doing it on Instagram. That's awesome. Then you're top of mind for wanting to work with you, because we're already getting to see your expertise and we're really loving that we're getting value from you. So also the last little one here is be you. The authentic you. So there's nothing worse when you see people on social media trying to be somebody that they're not, or make their brand something that they're not. So make sure that you are you, because at the end of the day, if you're not you right now, then as soon as they start working with you, they'll find out the real you. So make sure that you are just being you. Okay, next one is, yes, offer value and give is step 4. So you can grow your audience by giving away a high value lead magnet. So create a post, ask people to comment yes, and message them requesting their email in return for your high value offer. Now, the high value offer, and I'm going to be offering you one today, which is basically very much a relation to what we're talking about now. So what it means is that I would be saying to you, doing a lovely little post, and then I'll go, so if you want to know more about that, or if that really resonates with you, comment yes below if you'd like my free downloadable, or you can call it whatever you like. And then they go, yes. And then, of course, you respond and say, I've sent you a PM, because nobody's ever going to give you their email address just in the comments, because then everybody can take it. And remember, email addresses are gold. So you need to be sending them a private message. And then once you've got the email address, then you're going to give them that special lead, or that beautiful lead magnet. So make sure that you come up with what's a great high value lead magnet that you can use in every group, on your own page, and you can use it over and over and over and over. It's a wonderful way to be growing your email audience, which is so super important, but also being out there giving value. The next one is give away prizes during a Facebook or an Instagram live, or in fact, anytime. You can be talking about prizes. So you might want to collaborate with somebody. So I'm going to use the example of Andrea again. Now, Andrea could say, what would be an amazing day out in Bangalore? Because then that could appeal to people on the Gold Coast. It could appeal to people down, way down south as well. So she could really reach far and wide, but all about a day in Bangalore. So it could be come here, have brunch, go and get a massage, go and then have afternoon tea, get your hair done, and then go out for dinner. That's a lot of meals, isn't it? But there could be other things that you might be adding in there. But the bottom line is, when she, even if it was only, say, 3 things, so let's just say brunch, massage, hair. So then Andrea would approach somebody that would give away a free brunch for one person, somebody that would give away a free massage for one person, and Andrea would do the hairdo. And you all want to make sure that you're talking about the same kind of value, so that you're all putting in, recommended retail price of, say, $150. Now that is an amazing prize pack. That's $450 worth of self-care, for example, or a day out for you, or whatever you want to call it. You might even want to take it the next step further and offer some accommodation and all kinds of things, but it's not cost you a single penny other than your time. So then what happens is that each of those businesses that are involved in that giveaway all need to be posting it onto their socials, sending it out to their email database. So all of a sudden your reach has tripled, and luckily all the new people that are coming to you and are entering are only doing it because they actually like what you're offering. So that's the beautiful thing about it. So definitely think about, what kind of prizes can I do? What kind of collaborations can I do with other people where I'm going to reach even more people than what I can reach with my own audience? It's a really wonderful way to grow. So I think each one of you could have a good think about, who could I partner with or collaborate with, just for the odd something or other that we might like to do that's fun and special. So the next one is attract your ideal audience by offering free webinars where people can see you in action. I have worked with some businesses that could not even get their head around for a second about doing a webinar. They're like, no, I love going to them. I just don't ever want to do it. And then boom, took the plunge, did their first one. And then, wow, what a difference that it made to their business. So if you think about what can you do? Can you do it where you do it in, if you're not feeling comfortable to do it yourself, what about doing it with someone else? It could be as a one-off, it could be as a monthly thing. There's lots and lots of different ways. For example, Emily with the reusable silk bags, she could do a little webinar all about, in fact, what I probably would do would be how to sew your own bags, because we know that 99% of the people that are doing that webinar are going to find that quite hard, and then they'll go, actually, I'll just buy your ones. I really love them. I love the process that you go through to make them, but I really just want to buy yours. Or it doesn't even need to be about how you sew them. It could be about what to do with these bags. How do you use them? How do you wash them? There's all kinds of things. Or it could be a webinar all about how to live a more eco-friendly life, or a more environmentally aware life. And then the bags is only just one part of that, but there's a lot more value that Emily can be giving for people to be learning about. And a great way for people to see her in action. So step 5 is the one that most people go, oh, I don't want to do that. And that is start a Facebook group. The reason for that are many, many things, but one of them in particular is that Facebook groups get more precedence on Facebook than anything else at this time. As you know yourself, when you put a post on Facebook, your page, you might have 100 followers and maybe 1 or 2 people might see that post. So then, of course, you need to do a little bit more. Like, you might be tempted to boost the post and spend money, or you might just be a bit disheartened and think, okay, I'm not going to post so often anymore. So instead, start a group. I mean, I shouldn't say instead, you still need to do your Facebook posts on your business page, but start a group and you'll be amazed with what happens. And again, it may not even be a group that's just for you. It might be someone that you will like to do a group with. It doesn't have to be just you. Find ways that you can be sharing together. So then what you can do is connect with your followers, invite them into your group, and get to know your tribe. Ask them questions, allow them to share their offerings, add heaps of value, and use the units, which has actually just been renamed the guide section, but it's not for everybody. Some groups it's still called guides, some groups it's called units, so it's a bit confusing. In the group, and then ask them for their emails when they join the group, and ask what they want to know more of and give it to them. So my little secret tip is that every Monday morning at 6 a.m. we have a scheduled post that goes out in the Facebook group. I'm talking about the main Hello Media group, and we ask a question, and it's usually completely unrelated to digital marketing. But what's good about it is that it gets people talking, and it gets me to know them. It gets them to know me. It gets them to know each other. Like, for example, a few weeks ago, I did one about what was your first car. And it was so good to see how many people put a photo of their first car in there. I loved it, even though I hadn't said share a photo. And it was really great to see. And there's a lot of chat that goes on. That it's good on two reasons. Yes, definitely a private group, Tony. So it's good for two reasons. Well, actually, way more than that. I could just talk about Facebook groups forever. In fact, I think that we should do our digital marketing webinar on groups next week, but I've already got another topic. So let's do Facebook groups the week after. So what's good about the Facebook group is, yes, is about doing that post is, number one, is that it's getting me to know my tribe and them to know me. But then number two is that because that's going to get such a good engagement, because those posts always do, then what it means is that for the rest of the week, there'll be still engagement going on that post, which means that the other things that I post in the group, Facebook's going to show it to more of the people in the group because they know that that content is worthy. So there's a lot of little tricks of the trade around that, but definitely A, get going with a group, and B, ask them questions. And this little thing here about asking the emails when they join the group. If you're not getting the emails when they're joining your group, then you're wasting a huge opportunity there, because it's people that are interested in what you're doing already and what you're offering. So grab the email. So just in case something happened to Facebook or your group or your page or whatever, or Instagram, that you haven't actually lost those people forever, that you've got their email and you can still be in touch with them and communicate. So when you share your awesomeness, show your real self, offer value, give help and support, and share your expertise. You're getting visible online and attracting your ideal customers and clients to you without needing to chase them. And a little bit every day ensures that you stay consistent and helps people get to know, like, and trust you, which is a winning and very authentic formula. So let's have a little look at a couple of other things in here that I've just added to discuss with you about what you want to do with regards to engagement and things like that. So the 5-step formula, which is not the Hello Visibility formula, it's the 5-step social media formula for social engagement. So number one, share your story. Tell people why you do what you do, what's different about what you do. So make sure that you're sharing things that really resonates with me so that I then want to find out more about you. It's also how you engage with your audience. So are you asking them questions? Are you sharing them wonderful offerings? Are you getting in touch with them on all the social channels as well as through your email marketing? Are you putting it out on Google My Business? What are you doing to engage with your audience? The next one is, how do you problem solve? So when things are going wrong, showing how you deal with that is a really wonderful thing. Or when people ask you questions that you're not quite sure of, do you fudge your way through it and just kind of fluff it? Or do you go, I'll just look into this and I'll get back to you? Next one is call to actions. So important that you direct people and tell people what you want them to do. It's the same whether it's on your website or whether it's on your social posts example. So for example, when I said before about the red spot and the blue spot dress, when I did that post that just says, here's the red spot dress and we also have it in blue, there's no call to action, is there? It's just a blur. But if I said, here's the red spot, here's the blue spot, which one do you like? Comment in or drop an emoji in the comments, or tell us in the comments what you like. That's a call to action, because I'm directing you to what I need you to do, and that is to share your information. Hi, Petra. Oh, that's very good. Thanks for sharing that. And then visual content. What is it that you're sharing? Because we always want to be thinking about creating that scroll stopping content. So by scroll stopping, I'm talking about when we're on Instagram or Facebook and we're going scrolly, scroll, scroll, scroll. And then what's going to make us actually stop the scroll, look at the picture, and then read what it is that is going on that post. So that's really important that we think about the visual content first, because then, of course, it will only be once we've seen the visual that we'll then go and read the caption. Different in a Facebook group and the Facebook page. Like I said, For me, questions on their own work really, really well, but you really need that engagement level coming up. So some great graphics will definitely help with that. So just a little reminder too, for those that have been before, and for those of you that haven't, this one's really important. It is my 80-20 rule. And I was just talking with someone about this the other day, and they went, oh, I've been doing 100 to 0. And I really need to turn that around. So it'll be fascinating to see how they go over the next few weeks with introducing something into their offerings that isn't just selling. So my 80-20 rule is that 80% of the time you are edutaining, so entertaining, educating, and engaging with people. 20% of the time is when you're selling to them, or as I prefer to say, helping them. So think about that, because any social media page or even newsletter where all you're getting is sell of what your offerings are, we will tune out. So make sure you change that, and you start offering, and you're giving them tips, and you're giving them maybe, you know, your lead magnet, you're giving them some amazing ideas of things to try, way more. And you also want to make them laugh sometimes. So make sure you give them other things other than just what you're selling. And when I like to talk about social media engagement, this is how I talk about what we're aiming for. So it's the Olympic medal. So let's start with the bronze. The bronze medal is what you're going to get if you do if you get a like. So a like on a post is great. Don't get me wrong, it's definitely great, but that's really definitely the bottom of the top 3. The next one we would be aiming for is the silver medal. And the silver medal is what I would award you if you get a comment. So a comment is great. It's definitely better than a like. So getting a comment is a good thing. It's showing that they're engaging and they've listened to your call to action. But the gold medal, that's absolutely what we're aiming for. The gold medal is the magic, and that is a 2-pronged medal. So the first thing I'm going to give you a gold medal for is that if somebody tags somebody in a post. So for example, Terry's done a post, I've seen it, I've tagged Julie and gone, you've got to check this out, or even just tagged her without saying a word. The reason that's winning is because Julie might not have ever seen what Terry's doing before. She might not know anything about Terry. So all of a sudden it's brand new eyeballs on Terry's post. Also, the other first equal thing for a gold medal is that if somebody shares your post. So firstly, make it shareable. Secondly, make it, you can't share out of a private group. So keep that in mind. But what I will often do if I know that something's going to be people are going to want to share it, is I'll put it in the Facebook group, and then I'll say, and then I know straight away people will go, I can't share it, I really want to share it. And I'll go, I've also put it on the Hello Media Facebook page, so you can go and share that one into your personal or onto your own business, etc. So keep that in mind. You want to get people sharing, and you want to get people tagging their friend in there. So you can even give that a call to action. You can say, blah, 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 in your post, tag a friend if you think they should know about this. And then boom, you can be sure people will tag their friends because you've directed them with what to do. So that there, if you want to take a screenshot of that, that there is just explaining how that works with those bronze, silver, and gold medals for what you're aiming for in terms of social media engagement. And it's really important to remember that, because firstly, we want to create the scroll stopping content so they actually stop. Then we want them to not just like, not just comment, but also to share it or to tag a friend. So make sure we first of all remember about the scroll stopping content, and then we create that caption. Super amazing. Okay, so in summary, people buy from people that they trust. So you need to be getting visible. Think about that top of funnel, and what can you be doing up there? Can you be posting into Facebook groups, posting on your own Facebook account, putting it on your own personal as well, offering value? So it's not enough that you have great content. Your target audience needs to know that you exist first before you can even then sell to them. And remember, don't market to everyone. Not everybody is your customer. Be specific in your brand message so that the right people are attracted to you, and be consistent in everything that you do. Your target audience should have the same experience every single time that they come to you, and master the know, like, and trust factor. So if you would like a copy of our special magic PDF, which is called My 5 Steps to Get to Know, Like, and Trust You. I'm just going to bring it up so I can show it to you. Then if you would like a copy, let us know and we will send it out to you. So it's in Canva. Let me just go find it to show you. And I hope you can still hear me because that rain here is pretty unbelievably loud. Lucky I'm unbelievably loud too. Let's go magic. And Andrea, tell me about that puppy. Oh, you're on mute.
This is George.
George is adorable. Well, my daughter came home sick from school today, so I didn't have to look after the puppy for too long in the office today, which was lucky because she was going crazy. Okay, so this is it, guys. It's 5 steps to get that know, like, and trust factor. So get visible online and attract clients to you. Don't chase them. So it shows you a little intro to me, but then we go on step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. And there you go. So you can have a copy of that if you would like it. So just say yes in the chat and we will make sure that we get it to you. So remembering that to get visible online, each time you sit down to create your post, ask yourself this: is what I'm about to post, let me just click on present. Is what I'm about to post going to help, inspire, motivate, or add value in some way? I'm not really a believer in just posting for the sake of posting. There are other digital marketing strategists out there that truly believe posting anything is a good thing because it's just about more and more and more posts. For me personally, I'm more about quality over quantity. I still think you need to post daily, but you've really got to put thought and time into what you're posting. And you know what? If a couple of days go by and you haven't posted because you just weren't feeling inspired, that's okay. What you could do, though, is go back to some old posts and use them as evergreen. So make sure that you're not forgetting about all that gold content from your past and that you reuse it and reuse it. So here's a little thing that I'm giving to you guys is the opportunity to grow, and that is to and share and connect. So when you jump into the Hello Media Facebook group, find this pinned post and jump on it, because from there, everybody's commenting in the captions and then in the comments, and then you can follow all of those people. You can also then tell them about you, and then they can follow you as well. So make sure that you find that pinned post. Next is get stuck into mastering the know, like, and trust factor today, will you? So let me know in the chat what's going to be the first thing that you're going to do, or what was the aha moment for you today? Was it something to do with, oh, I really should be posting on my personal page and telling people a bit about my business, because maybe they don't even know what I do? Or is it, yes, I really mean to do a Facebook group, I just haven't done it yet? Is that going to spur you on to go and get organized and do it? So it doesn't need to be called what your business is. It could be, for example, Jackie, who's in here today, has Jack's Dolls Direct, and Jackie specializes, she's probably put it in the chat, but Jackie specializes in dolls that you can't get in Australia. Very, very clever. So Jackie could do a Facebook group for all lovers, for lovers of dolls. It doesn't have to be about her business. And then from time to time, she's sharing about her business and, wow, look what we've just got in, the blah, 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 and you can't get them anywhere else, and you got to grab this. You know, well, you can, we've only got 3 or whatever it is that she's going to say. But we're going to join the group, not because Jackie's going to sell to us. We're going to join the group because we like Jackie. We want to know more about collectibles and things like that. So it could be for collectors. It doesn't even have to be for dolls. So anyway, have a think about it of what type of a group would you do? What kind of a group would work for you? But anyway, tell me about it in the chat of, let me just open up the chat so I can know what Kate says. Need to give my personal profile a tune up. Yes, that's such a good idea. I just did it to mine recently and I was like, I should have done that ages ago. Jackie says, I find it's the time to make the post is the hardest. Yes, but we do it when we're on a roll. So we'll go, boom, 20 quotes, just like that. That's 20 posts a week. 20 quotes for 1 post per week. Done so quickly, because when you're in a roll and you're creating those, you just go more. Then what about tips? You can come up with 20 tips in one go and create all of those. So then all of a sudden you've got all this great content, and all you got to do then is schedule it and put it in Creator Studio. Have a big day or half a day a week, just scheduling everything, and then you don't have to think about it for a month. What else? Agree with Jackie. So much easier when they're all created. Yes, and waiting in creative studio. That is right. A lot more thinking and doing. Good, Brenda. That is great. Okay, so next is now more than ever, we want to see the human side of a brand. So show the world what you stand for, be more purpose-driven, more human, more imperfect, and more real. Think about the people that were putting their what they do in the chat. Think about what it is, those businesses that particularly help people with things. So if we find out more about why you help people and how you've changed people's worlds, etc., that's an amazing thing to be getting some really good trust factor on. So our next topic for next week, and you can hold up your camera and scan the QR code if you fancy registering, it's what to do when you think you've done it all. And the reason that this has come about is actually because this morning we were talking a fair bit in the group coaching about what, not having a lack of sales or a lack of people booking your services or whatever it is. And so then we can go through this whole huge checklist of, have you done this? Have you done that? Have you done that? Have you done that? If you haven't, then you need to go back and do all of those. So that's what we're going to talk about next week, is when you think that you're doing everything you can, actually what is it that you should be doing, but what can you stop doing because you can't do everything. So some of those we might wipe out and we might do more of other things. So this is lovely, Joanne. I'm a kinesiologist specializing in stress release, better brain functioning, which most of us need. Yes, we do. I help people live healthy lives with more creativity the way they want to. That's beautiful. Oh yes, honey, we will. So I'm just going to and this is our one for next week. I can't remember what the topic for this Friday. I can't remember what the topic is, but we've got it written down anyway. It's a great one. It's to do with business. It's something to do with Jenny, because I was asking questions. So we basically alternate it. So one week I talk more about digital marketing. She talks more about business structure and what you need to know about growing your business, et cetera, et cetera. So anyway, it's something along those lines, and I'm excited for it. So if people like you, they'll listen to you, but if they trust you, they'll do business with you. Keep that one in mind. And if you want to book a discovery call, find out how you can get more sales. Find out or simplicity around your digital marketing. I can't believe I just made up this great word today and I can't remember what it was. I put it in a blog post. I'll find it and I'll share it. Oh, yay. Thank you, Merlin. She says that the topic for Friday is all about onboarding clients and taking them on that customer journey. So I'd like to click on stop share now. Let's get a picky. And so if you could what am I trying to say? Turn your camera on. That's the word I was looking for. And we'll do a little screenshot so we can have a wave. So let's count down from 3, 2, 1. Oh, I don't know if it did it, but let's just hope it did. Nice to see you guys. So are there any questions? Oh, thanks, Merlin. She's put the links in for what you got for the next webinar so that you can come along. And if you've got any questions, let me know now. Any questions about how can you get visible? How can you get that know, like, and trust factor? Good eye then. Well, also, if you put your email address in the chat, we'll be sending that out to you today to get that free downloadable all about the 5 steps to the Hello Visibility thing, or how to get more know, like, and trust. And yes, very good. I will get onto that, Andrea, for sure. All right, guys. See you. Lovely to see you all. Have a beautiful afternoon and a great week.